Hello everybody, I just wanted to talk about itemization for the Companion Druid in Season 3. I'm going to have two links in the description below that are going to be the best ways I think to play Companion Druids. The first way is going to be just trying to maximize your Companion damage and just solely focusing on that. The way we are going to do that is by using Conceited Aspect, Tybalt's, as well as Stampede Aspect of the Alpha, and then in addition to Flash of Adrenaline, as well as like Evernight, things like that. So that's another 50% damage increase. And then on top of that, they also buffed Wilds. They also buff Wilds by 40%. So I'll just show you exactly what I'm able to get the damage to here. So it starts off at 30,000 on the Wolves. It gets all the way up to 110,000 a hit. Not bad. On Poison Creeper, it goes up to 351 on the passive. On Ravens, it goes up to I believe 336,000, 1.1 on the active, 1.2 on the active on Poison Creeper, and then 614,000 on the Wolves. Now keep in mind, if I did go like a two-hander here, I could increase the Wolves damage up a little bit more, maybe get it up to like 800,000. And also keep in mind, I do not have perfect gear yet. Still looking for plus ranks to companion skills on this amulet. So this is not 100% maxed out yet, so there actually is still room to grow to do even more damage, right? So that's pretty good. If we're coming over here, I don't have perfect stats on my gear, so I'll just show you this right here. So on your chest piece, a really cool thing as well is since Juggernauts got added in, all you need to do is run Juggernauts with 1% with a good percent total armor roll, and you will be maxed out on your armor, which is pretty nice because all you need to get it to is about like 13.3k. You can see here I have 13.5 just walking around casually all the time. So yeah, not too shabby, right? Aspect of Nature's Savagery, just to make sure that we can proc Nature's Fury so we can keep up our Tybalts by activating a barrier that gives us Unstoppable, right? Every time we use Earthen Bulwark, it gives us Unstoppable, activates Tybalts, and it also helps our Conceited Aspect stay up. So on the gloves, you're going to want attack speed, critical strike chance, like a hit chance, and willpower. Then we have boots with Symbiotic. This is what allows us to reset our Earthen Bulwark cooldown with the Nature's Fury. And you have two options here because like if you don't run Nature's Fury, you're not really gonna be able to run Tybalt's and keep the uptime on it. So it's like you can get 25% damage here, or you can run the Nature's Fury setup and get 40% damage with Tybalt's. Yep. So Symbiotic. So I go move speed after killing an elite, lightning resist, shadow resist. If you don't like the move speed for 4 seconds after killing an elite, you could go something like willpower, just try to shore up a stat, or if you need another resistance, you could even go triple resistances, and that'd be totally fine. Conceited Aspect. So we want all stats, willpower, critical strike damage, damage to close enemies. Rapid Aspect. Critical strike chance, willpower, damage while fortified, damage reduction from poison. It doesn't really matter 100% what the secondary stats are. The main two stats that you do want is all stats and willpower, because realistically, critical strike damage and damage to close is all getting thrown into the same bucket. So like, as long as you have one of these secondary additive bonuses that you're proccing consistently, it's fine. I just think critical strike damage, damage to close are probably going to be the most consistent. Aspect of the Alpha on the amulet, the reason why I run it here is because I wanted to be able to run Conceited Aspect and Rapid Aspect, which helps with the damage on the other skills. But technically, yes, if I was to put this on a two-hander, I would be able to get a lot more damage specifically out of my Wolves. You want Ranks of Companion skills, Call the Wild passive, Willpower, and Movement Speed. And you might ask me, like, why not Envenom? Well, the answer is because you cannot roll Call of the Wild, Envenom, and Companion skills on an amulet. If you go to like the jeweler, there's like an algorithm for like what they allow you to roll. You can't just roll, like four plus rank stats, I guess, on an item, for example, right? So there is like a way that works, unfortunately, but I like to go willpower because it's percent willpower. So like 6% willpower can drastically help out your Paragon nodes, so I think that's pretty good. Movement speed. You can also go like damage reduction instead of movement speed or something like that if you want, but yeah, just the main two things you need is just companion skills, Call the Wild, critical strike chance, critical strike damage, lucky hit, max life, pretty standard. Isn't really anything else to go for there. I like to run X-Falls because with all these damage increases, this does proc for a lot off our Poison Creeper. The highest I've seen it proc is like 1.8 million. So it's a nice little burst of damage. If you don't want to run X-Falls, you can run Edge Masters, and then it'll just be the same crit chance, crit damage like you hit max life. Rapid aspect, critical strike chance, willpower, damage reduction while fortified, damage reduction for poisoned enemies. You don't need cooldown reduction a whole lot in this build, in my opinion. You're just kind of relying on pack leader resets. I think that's going to be a better way to do it. But if you want to, you can stack cooldown. So I know like I have Harlequin Crest, stuff like that. But I think you'll find that more often than not, you're going to end up getting a pack leader reset before the cooldown goes off. Okay, so yeah, so this is going to be the maximum companion damage. That is the first variant. The next one is going to be the Cronestaff. And to just kind of show you the difference here. So if you're not familiar with these two aspects, Pain Gorgers got added in. This does 190% increased basic skill damage to things that have been marked with a non-basic skill. So since we get Recess of Poison Creeper, we can proc this very easily. Then we use Aspect of Adaptability. So when cast at or above 50% max resource, basic skills deal 72% increased damage. So this is just essentially what you're doing is you're giving up Rapid Aspect and Conceited Aspect in order to just do a ton of DPS with Great Staff of the Crone. Because the other thing too to think about is we run into an awkward issue where we kind of like have points that we just don't know what to do with. So it's just pretty good to take those points and you can just put them into like Claw or something like that, because in addition to the fact that, you know, you have Evernight, which is going to give us +4 ranks to Claw and Storm Strike, it just has good synergy. We just have really good access to ranks to everything. And then if you're lucky like me and you find a Harlequin Crest off Duriel, then yeah, you can get even more, right? You can get up to like 22 ranks, I think. So yeah, but let me go ahead and show you. And I'm noticing that even with having it off, this still gets up to about the same, so 110. But I don't think it's factoring in everything correctly yet. I think it's one of those things where some of the damage doesn't get factored into the sheet, which is fine. Yeah, but you can see here, just look at the sheer amount of resets I'm getting. It just makes the build just overall smoother, I guess. So that's just something to think about. There's another reset, right? You're just going to get more resets if you play this way. It's going to be smoother. And honestly, I would say this way is going to do the most damage. It's going to add just a ton of DPS because of the whole Stormclaw aspect of it. So this is going to be my preferred way to play it. But if you do want to play the max damage companions, that's totally fine. Totally fine. The main changes on this build is going to be Pain Gorgers here. You're going to drop X-Falls and just run Aspect of Adaptability. You know, obviously drop the one-hander with a Great Staff of the Crone. Ideally, you want to get this just as high roll as you can. And yeah, and then you can come over here. You'll see I'm just running Efficiency instead of the breaking support, since I can just run something like Exploit in the Paragon, which is what I have set up here. You don't have to run this. You can run something else like Bane, I guess, if you want. If you want to just take off Efficiency and just keep running Breaking or something like that to get vulnerable, that's totally fine. But after that, the stat priorities and all the gear is still going to be the same. Ranks of Companion Skills, Ranks of Call of the Wild, etc. The only difference is just going to be your weapon setup, really. You know, your Sinistral Construct is still going to be the same. You still want the 50% damage and all that. But yeah. But I think that's going to do it for this video, though. I just wanted to give you guys just kind of an update on what I'm thinking is currently the best. And I do run this because it spreads the rabies a little bit faster. And because, you know, I just have extra points. If you don't want to run this, you can actually take points out of this and just put 3 more points to get a little bit more crit. Totally fine. Understandable as well. But, yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you next time. Thanks.